Guys, everything is coming up for me. Let's hope this is a smooth transition. This is a requested video. So hopefully the people who asked for it are watching and then they can ask me a couple questions. Um, Looks like it's actually not up yet. So I don't know if I'm on yet. Let me just look at my phone. Oh, there I am, but no live chat. All right. So let's see. Give me a second, please. And hello. How are you guys this morning? I feel wonderful, especially after. Oh, here we go. If I'm on Here we yet. Go. Let me just look at my phone. Hey, Angel. Wow, you are right on time. Jonathan, yeah, you're on. Glitter Bricks, Kim. Morning, Mama Bear. Morning, Karina. Awesome. My two moderators are on. All right, guys. So, you know what? While I'm going to let some more people come on, and I want to go really quickly in and change a setting to see if I can. Give me a second. I might not be able to do this while I'm on. It's okay. Anyway, I wanted to talk about all ego-based or lower self-manifesting for a second, and then I just wanted to take some questions. But actually, I want to see the live chat on my laptop, and because it's easier than on my phone. So I'm going to see if I can go on. So I'll just keep letting some more people come on. I have a good amount of time until my session starts. So let's see. Give me another minute here. I want to go over to my other. I'm going to switch accounts to my personal, so then I can see the live chat. The shame is I'm not able to do, there we go. I can see myself. All right. Okay. There we go. Anyway, I lost my train of thought for a second there, but I'm going to let the live chat come up. Why is everything taking so long? Because I'm manifesting it. All right. All right. It's still coming on. It's still processing. So let me go over here. There we go. All right. So Jonathan wrote, no hoping it's a smooth transition. Yes. Thank you. Natalia, hey. Hey, Natalia. Angel wrote, on my way to the gym, so I'll be watching and working out. It's an addiction now. Okay, awesome. Please, if you're driving, do not watch anything. Okay. H wrote here. Awesome. Luna's enlightenment. Did I come on time for the party? Yes, you did. I wish I could give you guys something in the 3D, something tangible, like it was a party. It's like that's a funny example of how I remember when I used to always visualize. See, this is an example of how just because you visualize, if you don't actually want something, the visualizing isn't always going to make something happen if you don't actually want something. Like you guys know, I'm totally an introvert. Me and my SP is also an introvert, but in my mind, I used to always imagine entertaining. I used to love the idea of entertaining, having people over, cooking for people, like laughing and this and that. But in the 3D, no, I don't want that. But I used to always imagine it. And I would use the imagination just to kind of soothe or not soothe, satisfy the, the, the slight craving of having those experiences. But deep down in my soul, I didn't actually want it. So that's a perfect example of how just because you imagine and visualize doesn't mean you're actually going to manifest it if deep down that's not what you want. But anyway, I wanted to talk about all ego-based and lower self-manifesting for this particular lesson today that we are having live. And so I'm going to get right into it. An example, oh my goodness, I have my water bottle is sweating because it's super cold, but it's getting water all over my counter. A good example of like if you're manifesting, I'll give you an example using like money, job, career, but the first one will be kind of specific person because I know that ends up being what most of you guys want. I also want to tell you after this when I get into the money thing, if it makes sense, if I can segue into just telling you how one of my clients literally just manifested like a good opportunity where she's making the money she wanted. But anyway, Carissa, thank you. Thank you. Carissa said she loves my shirt because she bought one of these from my online store. Thank you. It's my favorite. So an ego-based, I think I said I would do the SP one first. So like, let's say that you aren't coming from like a place of unconditional love and you just want your SP because they rejected you and you almost want to get back at them. So you're manifesting saying things like, they worship the ground I walk on. They can't breathe without me. They suffer without me in their life. Like that's really very harmful to me. A way of that's not only toxic, it's actually harmful because you're essentially wishing that onto yourself. So because remember, everyone is you, we're all one. So when you're wishing that kind of deep emotional harm on somebody else, and then you're experiencing all that deep emotional harm, it's because you're creating that for yourself because your SP is also you. Okay. Does that make sense? So if you wish harm onto someone else, you're essentially wishing it onto yourself. If you wish love onto someone else, you're essentially wishing that on for yourself. Does that hit some of you guys? And then the other thing is, I got to read some of these. I see some smiles. Another thing is, uh, for example, if you like, let's say you're in a work setting and a coworker, and I've gone through this. I've gone through this in the past when I was younger. A coworker is sabotaging your work, or you're perceiving that your work, you're not recognized, and you're seeing one of your coworkers as being a threat. So then you're wishing that they get fired. You are potentially setting yourself up to get fired because you're wishing kind of harm onto someone else. Instead, what you can do if you're experiencing a situation like that, a toxic situation in your 3D in the workplace, you can come at it from a few different ways. How I would do it would be that I would actually see that no one and nothing is my source of recognition and value except myself and the higher God, and that I'm always acknowledged, respected, and appreciated, and that me and my coworkers all have kind of, we have a good working experience together. And I would probably do a little ho'oponopono on the experience with this particular person. And I would take full responsibility that they are reflecting something within me, and so I would forgive them and I would forgive myself for the creation of it. And then I would allow God to come in and do whatever God's going to do. And if God wants to, basically say, okay, you've experienced enough through this, thank you, then maybe then God will create another experience for this person to lovingly go to. And then they may end up getting, a job elsewhere. But then you did it in the highest and best, and you didn't do it from ego, wishing harm on another, because when you're really loving yourself, you literally cannot wish harm on another. So if you find yourself feeling vengeful about a lot of people in your reality, I want you to see that as just another cue to go deeper in love for yourself. And it doesn't mean please listen to me and don't think that I'm saying, or hear what I'm saying, that I'm not saying that you are a doormat and you allow people to walk all over you in your 3D. That's not what I'm saying. But you trust in the greater God and in your higher self, and you trust what manifestation is, and you trust that anyone and everyone in your reality is showing you something that's active within you, so you can forgive it right away. And in the 3D, in the physical, obviously, if somebody is coming at you, remove yourself from the situation. But, always try to go back in and think from a higher level. If you want, you can manifest however you want. I'm not here to judge you. So, if you want to keep doing and kind of wishing harmful things on others, that's your business. But that's not, I'm probably not the coach for you with that. So anyway, and then the other thing I wanted to talk about was how, let's say that, like I've talked about before, when I've been in situations that, like, when I've been in situations with my SP and I have found it, like, obviously I've experienced times where it's hard to breathe, where my chest is, yes, Carissa wrote, feeling vengeful and also produce more of the same. That's correct. It feels more, it produces more of it within you. And then you're being somebody who's vengeful. So now you're going to have to experience the things in 3D reality of somebody who's vengeful. You're going to have to find more experiences to want to be vengeful because it's your perfect mirror. But anyway, like if I'm feeling like I can't breathe, like my chest is tight, I don't want to sit there and say, my SP can't breathe, his chest is tight too. What I want to do is take that as a cue that I'm believing in an old story keeping me from love. And so then I go within and I give myself the love that I know that I deserve, that I crave. And I give my SP that love, and I allow myself to experience my SP giving me the love. So everybody's just loving each other and comforting each other. But I don't, like, if I'm hurting, I don't then sit there and say, I hope that they're hurting too. Okay. That's not what I'm doing, because then I'm just wishing for more hurt for myself and for them. That's not really understanding this from a higher level. Okay. Does this all make sense to you guys? Comment down below if that makes sense. So those are some ideas of ego-based manifesting. I had a client that has had amazing success with her SP. I don't believe I've made a video yet. I don't think I did. But one of the things that came up that ended up reflecting, and she realized how she was before she started watching my videos and before we met. She was watching other YouTube creators, and it was kind of that kind of toxic, you know, kind of ego manifesting. And apparently one of the YouTube content creators, and I know that everybody's teaching from their perspective, and this is nothing against anybody. And again, no judgment. You do what you want to do, but it just means that I wouldn't be the coach for you, because I'm never going to teach from things like this. I guess she was watching a video, and I believe the content creator said something like, one of the affirmations was, he can't get an erection with anyone else but me. So what ended up happening, the way that ended up manifesting, was she ended up learning that he was suffering. So that's not at all what she wanted. So do you see, like, you can take instead in a loving way that they are turned on with me as much as I'm turned on with them. We turn each other on. We love each other endlessly, deeply. Our love is sacred. Our passion together brings us both to, like, different levels of ecstasy. Very different. You see how it's kind of like the same, because I understand what she wanted. What she wanted was to see that, there was a 3P involved. So because there was a 3P involved, she thought that this was a good way to do it. But instead, take the 3P out of the equation and just go into the deep, deep, sacred, passionate love with the two of you guys. And okay, well, that's hard because, I can't seem to focus on them loving me and only me because of the 3P. Well, if you spend more time in your trusting in your heart and soul and less time on the 3D, you will make a turn when you're not depending on your 3D to validate the love that they have for you. Eventually you will shift into trust, but many of you guys aren't giving yourselves that time because you're focusing on the 3D and the lack. Okay. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So now I'm down to just a few minutes. Give me a second, because I saw that one of my clients just emailed me and I have to make sure. Okay. I just had to check this. Okay. All right. So I have about 5 minutes. Take a sip. So everything that you are craving and wanting that you maybe, okay, I did want to say one thing also, just to make this clear. You've always been manifesting and you always will be manifesting. Okay. So how you manifest and the quality of your experiences in life, which are your manifestations, will depend on where you're coming from. Okay. So a lot of people would say it's totally okay to manifest from ego. It is okay to manifest from ego, but it just depends on what it is that you want. So you can always come from a higher place of creating harmony within your environment, within your life, or you can do it from ego. That's up to you. I'm just saying it depends on the quality of life that you want to be living in the experiences with other people. Okay. Okay. So Aileen wrote, is it silly to want an apology from someone if their unwanted behavior is something we created? The apology will happen. The apology will happen. I promise you, when you guys are together, because the end exists where you are together, you couldn't even want it. This is just the middle. So focus dominantly on the end and trust me, there will be apologies in the middle. There will be apologies. You will experience the apologies in the middle. Okay. You don't have to focus your energy on wanting the apology. So is it silly? No, because the little part of you, the little human part of you was hurt. And, to satisfy that craving just one time, go within. And I would do the Ho'oponopono actually, if I were you. But then if you want, satisfy that part of you by experiencing the apology, but just don't stay stuck on that because then you can manifest just the apology and then be separate again. Okay. You want to trust, you want to let yourself trust in the love. All right. So hopefully that helped. Lay, I love this title. This morning, my ego really tried to get me. I told my ego to shut up and stop trying to make stories up. Okay, good. You also want to let go of the root problem, Lay, that caused it. Okay. Soom wrote, it was a pleasure having a session with you. Oh, you have me hope more than I already had. I actually think that I think I got your email and I need to create a video of your email. It's just that I'm going to have to, I think I have to figure out a way to pare it down a little bit just to keep the video around like 10 minutes or so. Penelope, that's a funny name. Got a question for you, Mama. Is it normal that after chaos, the 3D goes silent? I'm pretty calm and it's okay, but kind of warning what now? Okay. It's very normal for the 3D. Oh, God, I wanted to talk about something. You're making me want to talk about something else. So I'll try to answer this and maybe I might go into this other else, or maybe it'll be another video. It's very normal for the 3D chaos to come up. You might react, you go back in your trust, you forgive yourself, you go back into your inner world and allow yourself to love. Okay. And then there will be many times silence. It's like, and then everything will come through. Okay. It's the silence period when this happens where this is where people get caught up because there was movement, it blew up, and then there's silence again. And then they get caught up with nothing's happening. What did I do? I ruined it. And then they stay on that. And now they're back in the loop again. So the silence is a good thing. It's all about to happen. It is all about to happen. Oftentimes, right before the best thing, there is silence. Okay. So don't get fooled by the silence. It's almost like I've talked about this before using the example of deep waters. It's kind of like also the metamorphosis of the butterfly. The caterpillar's in the cocoon, kind of closed off. It's not a good one for this. Eye of the storm. Okay, the eye of the storm. There's a hurricane in the very center. When you are centered and you're calm and you're still, The chaos is happening all around you, and you just stay in the silence and the stillness. And when you can just stay and just stay cool, calm, collected, stable, grounded, balanced back in your love and in your trust, eventually the storm passes. And then, I think that might be okay for a metaphor for this. So I hope that helped. But yes, oftentimes silence is a very good thing after the 3D blew up. Okay. Again, with the cut flowers, the bloom happens. That's the 3D, the withering away. The withering away period might be a little quiet, but it's good. Be at peace and stay cool, calm, collected, and happy. And remember to not worry about the 3D. That's the big, 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 big thing here. Okay. So Michelle wrote, you read my mind. I was just thinking about this with my coffee this morning, how some coaches do video promoting ego. If you want your SP to feel horrible without you, then that's just desperate, needy ego. But and it's also, I do believe that this is why a lot of people are suffering so much. Not everybody, but some people are suffering so much because they're actually wishing a form of suffering on their person. So then they're wishing it on themselves. Okay. You got to remember that. I did a video just now that's getting edited. Hopefully it'll come out tomorrow, where I'm sharing a beautiful, beautiful poem. I think it's the first poem I ever sent to my SP, because it's kind of the entire experience all in a poem, just to describe that you and your specific person are literally energetically on a soul level, you're one. And so all of the stuff of your ego and of your 3D and of your personality just doesn't matter. Okay. So anyway, I love you. I got to get on with my first session. I love you guys so much. I know that this was of some value. I'm happy to be of service for each and every one of you guys. I love you so much. If you need me, just reach out, and I will talk to you soon. I got to go to my client. Okay. I love you.